Here, there's then a little shift in his sacrum. Boom. What's up, everybody? Welcome to In the Moment. I'm Dr. Brett Jones of the Source Chiropractic in Oakland, California, and today we are joined by Marc. And Marc is a chiropractic student from New Zealand Chiropractic College, about to finish, and you just won something big. What'd you win, brother?
Won Talk the Tick over in New Zealand. And
it brought you here.
That's right.
You're competing here in the Bay Area.
Yep.
Are you gonna win?
Fingers crossed. I'm gonna do my best.
Oh, he's gonna do his best.
Yeah.
How'd you learn about this practice?
So I went to a training camp in my second year with Jordan and Lance, and
there's Jordan in the background.
Jordan.
Hey!
And then in third year, Caitlin and Lance came over, and,
and
so we've been training Monday and Fridays ever since.
There it is. He's talking about Kairos training culture. For those that don't know, you might have seen me wear a shirt or two, but Marc just had a long flight. We're gonna get him checked out. All right, go ahead and go face down, brother. So I watched him walk, and we did some range of motion with him and an overhead squat test. What I picked up when he was walking is he had a stuck left sacrum, and then as he was doing lateral bending of the neck, he was also locked in right lateral bending, and so we'll make sure we also check that out as we do our assessment. So right away, we do have a right short leg. There is also some eversion for those that got to watch the last video with Chloe, who came in from Paris, France. Actually, similar presentation. What do you know? All right, so we're gonna bring the heels to the glute, and it pretty much stays even, so it stays short as we bring the heels up, and checking the tone and tension of the lower leg, checking the tone and the tension now of the spine. So some accentuated curvature and hyperkyphosis going lower, so around T10 area. And it actually starts to open up with compression at the T2. So this is interesting. So right here, so typically you'll see the apex of the kyphosis around T6, T7. His is lower, so we're like T9, T10, right? But I want you to watch this. So there's accentuated curvature here. As we compress the T2, see how it alters where that curve is? And just feeling his system, there's way more ease distributed throughout the entire spine or throughout the entire back when you get that shift. And so if you were only adjusting apexes or where it feels most stuck, you might go to T9, because if you actually palpate there, there is a fixation between those facet joints. However, we get the biggest change from actually connecting to the T2. So as I sink in here, and what I can actually even start to sense is as I sink in here, there's then a little shift in his sacrum. Boom. Delivering. So right through the T2, take a breath, Marc. Breath will allow for continual reorganization. It's a sign of also integration. Go ahead and take a breath in and let it out. What I've started to notice is right after you deliver the impulse is a window of integration, and how you can start to basically allow the energy to continue in various ways. And it's also an opportunity to retrain the system. So if it had learned a pattern of, again, dysfunction, how can you start to introduce, either through traction or just simple connection and compression, a new pattern? Beautiful. Okay, so now actually picking up more of a superior ilium on the left, so we're gonna adjust that. Go this side up for me. So typically if you have a long leg, it can be associated with an AS ilium, not always. So inside posture, I'll get a little bit more fine tuning on the actual vector. For him, it's more of an IN. System opens up better when I go into an external rotation. So I'm gonna let the knee drop down. That's gonna open up the joint. So I'm actually using this leg here, tractioning down, so I can even do it without my hands. So just watch the pelvis open. That's the assistance in this adjustment. So it's here, boom, on your stomach. How we doing, Mark?
Awesome.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. So we'll recheck the legs. Okay, still slightly short on the right, but it's better. Gonna bring the legs up. Okay, still stays short. So there's more here. I don't think it's in the pelvis though. There you go. So now we're gonna go back. It says T9, T10. More of a compensatory pattern. So the primary was the T2. Go on your back for me, bud. We know we had restriction in right lateral bending. Restriction in right lateral bending, depending on what point there's restriction. If it's right away, it's usually upper cervical. If I tilt my head like 5 to 10 degrees and I find a restriction, more upper cervical. If I'm getting closer to 20 to 30 or 40 degrees and find a restriction, more mid to lower cervical. For Mark, we got C5 on C6 on the right side. I do want to go ahead and dress this seated. So Mark, I'm going to bring this chair over to you. Actually, I just want to sit right here, bro. All right. And so, Dylan, if you want to get a head on, we can go ahead and check the lateral bending again. Go ahead and put head to shoulder on the left side and to the right. See, he has to bring the head into a slight rotation. To get the lateral bending on the right, he rotates his head first instead of just going straight ear to shoulder. So, dysfunctional movement on the right side. Boom, there it is. Replace. Go ahead and retract the chin slightly. So a chin retraction can create that gap in the facet joint. We're going C5 on C6. There it is. There. Beautiful. Take a breath. Let it out. Awesome. Go ahead and go left lateral bending. How you doing?
Good.
That was a big one. Nice. And to the right. Much better, my friend. Go ahead and go back on your back one more time. So when people have a pure lateral bending fixation, it can be nice to address that seated. You'll get a different set on the joint. This is often why Gonstead worked like seated. It was actually working more through the disc, but it has a slightly different approach, which can be great for lateral bending fixations. You got a slight C6 on C7, so this is gonna be unilateral facet. So you'll see the actual direction of the adjustment come up here. There it was, just a little flick. Just give it a little tap. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo. On the second rib. All right. Oh, good set. Go on your stomach one more time. We're gonna check out the legs one more time. Do you know if you have a naturally short right leg?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm starting to pick up. I think he's just gonna be, well, actually we got a lot more balancing. So we're here now. We're probably about a 1/4 inch short on the right side. Started with about a 1/2 inch, but I also think he has either a short femur or a short tibia, so he's gonna be short on that right always. There's not gonna be much that we can do. His normal is gonna be short right. We're just checking the tone and tension of the system. Really good throughout the neck. Really good throughout the entire spine. Beautiful, brother, come on up. Tell the good people how your adjustment was.
It was needed.
Yeah. First, necessary.
Yeah, exactly, but it was good. It was good.
What were some quality descriptors? Was it, so giving some information on what it felt like to receive those adjustments?
I just felt easy.
Easy.
Yeah, it felt easy. I felt really relaxed.
Yeah.
It's quick, comfortable.
Any strain put on your muscles or anything like that?
No, not at all. I feel good.
Beautiful. That's one of the main things that we are teaching around the world is that you can adjust people and it doesn't have to hurt them. And this is a principle that came from MLS and Arnaud Bernier, is adjusting people at ease, right? So that you don't have to put torque and tension and pre-strain on these muscles, because what can happen is you can irritate that muscular tissue. And so if you set up first close to neutral and then make your compressions and sinks into the system, then the person overall is gonna have a much better experience and usually a better healing experience as well. So thank you for joining in. Thank you, Marc, for being here.
Cheers.
Until next time, peace.
Take care.